Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Erin, a licensed massage therapist, yoga, Pilates instructor. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm actually here in Costa Rica. I'm going to spend a few weeks here at a yoga retreat just hanging out. So I thought I'd just stop in and make a little video. This one's going to be a nice prep to a meditation. So if you have some blocks available to you, I would maybe reach for those, especially for the meditation portion. So to begin, let's start warming up. We're going to sweep our legs behind us. We're going to start off in our child's pose here. So bring your big toes to touch, separate your knees pretty wide. You're going to make space for your belly to snuggle in there. Walking our hands out, working towards getting our forehead to the mat. So go ahead, stay there for a second. So when you're in this child's pose, I want you to see if you could crawl your fingers towards the top of the mat, but keep your bottom on your heels, your forehead onto the mat. And when you take those deep breaths in, see if you could expand and fill up the sides and the backs of those lungs. Maybe creep those fingers a little bit further to the top. And then let's walk both hands over to the right side, maybe off of the mat. Lean your hips to the left. And breathe now through the left side of your body. Expand, opening up that left lung. And of course, let's make our way to the other side. Walk those hands over. So we're over to the left. Hips are leaning to the right. Breathe through the right side body. And let's make our way back to center. Making our way up to all fours for some cats and cows, connecting breath and movement. Inhale, eyeballs up, chin up, and belly down. And exhale, roll through that cat tilt, tuck it in. And keep this wave going through the spine. Really feel the crown of the head dropping, chin tucking, heart lifting, ribs and belly lifting as you tuck the pelvis. So to reverse that, tilt the pelvis up, drop the belly, drop the lungs, drop the heart, lift the chin, lift the eyeball. Really wave through here. All right, coming to that neutral spine. Let's take our right foot. We're going to step it back. Tuck your toes under and really push through the heel. I want you to feel a big opening from the heel to the calf and the back of the knee. Because when we do get into the meditation portion, we're going to be with our knees closed. So get some opening here in the back of the knee. Lift the leg up. Sweep it over to the left. You know, as far over as the left you can. Keep your shoulders square to the mat and just turn your head. Look over and see that right foot behind you. And again, breathing through the right side body. We'll lift the legs, switching sides, left toes, tuck them under. Um, Either a gentle or a big push, however that heel is feeling today. You could maybe even walk your hands out further if you really want to get into that push. Lean into it. Right leg will come back up. Sweep it over to the right. Go as far over to the right as you can. Now shoulders stay square. Gaze over. See if you can see that foot behind you. Opening up that left side body. We'll make our way back through center. See if you can bring your feet to touch. Sit down onto those heels. So when we do get into our meditation, our hip flexors, our hip creases will be closing in on us. So if you need the blocks, you could use those alongside of you, but we're going to come on up. Maybe bring them to the back. We're going to move into camel. So if you're not familiar with that, let's take our hands like you're going to slide them in your pockets and just push those hips forward. Just start with that push forward. Squeeze, if you can, squeeze those elbows in towards each other. They're not going to touch, but they're headed that way. If it feels okay to do so, maybe we bring a gaze up, chin up. Look up, push those hips forward. Now, if we feel we can, those blocks are behind us. Let's find one block, other block. Still pushing those hips forward. Big opening in the front body. And then hands back to the small of the back. Bringing ourselves up. Come on down. So sometimes that pose can be pretty intense, so just hang here. All right, we'll sweep those legs out in front. So again, the legs are going to be pretty immobile for that meditation. So let's patter, 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 get some blood flow going in the backs of those legs. So if you have the block, take a deep breath in, reach up and over with that block in between our hands. Big breath up here, flex those feet, big push. We're gonna turn. Try not to let those hips move, especially if we're turning to the right. That left hip stays stable. Take a deep breath in, come on through center, twist it to the left. I like to imagine that I poured concrete across my legs. And the reason we're holding on to the block, I want you to, or holding on to something, push into it to feel an engagement here in that side body. We're going to open up through the shoulders. Last little turn here. Big breath up. And we're going to find a hinge forward. So block could come in between the legs. Again, shins, ankles, toes, whatever is available to you. Big breath up. And fold forward. To roll yourself up, stack those vertebrae. Roll those shoulders back, down and around. We're going to come into our cow facing pose. So right foot crosses over. If we can, left heel sweeps in alongside of us as well. Really work those hips down. Blocks can be propped up under us if we feel ourselves having a big lift there. Try not to hold the knees. Arms out. Breath in. Take that lean forward. Feel those hips opening up. Chin drops to the chest. And where are you feeling the stretch? Can you pull some more breath there? Expand, opening up those tight areas. And we'll lean back. Big stance here as we windshield wiper. So I like to, when I do this pose, knees one way, head the other. Get a nice rotation. All right, switching legs, cross the other one on top. So again, this side might be different. So if you need that block, try to wiggle those hips down. Tall spine. That breath is going to take us forward to deepen. Last breath here. Maybe go a little further. Hands back. As we windshield wiper. Again, move those hips. Let that pose go. All right, so we're going to come into our seat for our meditation. So I per se am not, just because of my hip, my left hip starts screaming at me after a little while. But if you do want to sit like this, you for sure can. And maybe that little bit of a lift if you have a cushion, a pillow. Try not to cross at the ankles, one heel in, other heel in. 2 blocks if you need to. Sometimes the higher you go, the easier it is, or the less compression there we have on our hips. Now, my favorite is I have a nice setup here. Take the block on the low setting, and then this one is kind of like a pivot, and you could pivot, and you're gonna kneel. Just like so. Sometimes the feet get a little crampy. This big plantar flexion is not adaptable for every foot. Maybe find something you could roll under your ankles, a blanket, a towel, whatever you need. Again, knees have to say yes to this one for sure. But what can help is take a little bit of a lift, grab your kneecap and pull back, because you're just pulling the fascia that is getting pulled down to release that pressure there, or that stretch there in the knees. That could help here for these longer sits in our meditation. All right, hands can come wherever. I like to bring my hands one on top of each other. All right, let's close our eyes. And just come to your breath here. And so you got the big wind here in Costa Rica, and the bamboos behind me. All right, so what I mean by that is just come into awareness of your breath. Feel that breath as it enters and exits the body. Feel what it's doing to the body. And inhale, feel the expansion. Exhale, feel the contraction. So let's cultivate that a little bit further. On the in-breath, can you feel the spine, your sushumna, your midline getting a little taller? And on the exhale, can you feel that belly button pulling up a little further? Making that contraction a little deeper. Let's start counting that breath. So inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2. Matching our inhalations with our exhalations. And if you have that ujjayi pranayam, that audible ocean wave sound, feel free to introduce that in your practice. When you can hear your breath, you're able to stay connected to your breath. Maybe we're allowed, or we can get that breath to happen a little bit longer, maybe a 6 or 7 count. Inhalations matching the exhalations. And we're going to move here into our 3-part breath. And I really love this pranayama because this helps us to really utilize the whole chest cavity. A lot of times we breathe in just through our heart space. So take a deep breath in and expand the belly. Deep breath in, expand your mid-ribs. Inhale, expand through the collarbones. And then exhale, releasing from top, middle, and bottom. And keep that going. Inhale, breathe through the bottom, middle, top, and release. Top, middle, bottom. Inhale, big belly breath. Expand the belly. Expand the ribs. Expand that heart space. And release. Top, middle, and bottom. We're going to keep breathing like this, but we're going to have a 2-second breath hold in between each chamber. So inhale, expand through the belly, and then hold. 1, 2. Inhale, expand through the ribs, and hold. 1, 2. Inhale, expand through that heart space, and hold. 1, 2. And exhale, release top, middle, bottom. Keep that going. 2-second breath hold in between each chamber. And we'll do one more round just like that, expanding the belly. Hold. 1, 2. Expand the ribs. Hold. 1, 2. Inhale, pull, pull, pull. Sip it in, sip it in. Hold. And release it out. And let's come back to that natural rhythm, that natural rise and fall. Maybe go back to that breath count. See if that's expanded or lengthened. So a lot of times people think meditation is quieting the mind. And that very well could be try to turn off those busy thoughts, that monkey mind. I like to think about it as awareness, right? What is coming up? So like clouds in the sky, when something comes up, you acknowledge it, and then you watch it drift on by. So coming just into awareness of the breath. Maybe quietly in the mind's eye, you say inhaling in and exhaling out. Again, letting those thoughts arise, acknowledge, and let them pass. you're feeling that mind is really just busy, 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 working, working, working. Another little trick we can do is place our hands on our knee. And maybe when the thoughts arise as a memory, with our peace and middle finger, we could tap our right side. Maybe when thoughts arise of future thoughts, future endeavors, we take our peace finger and tap our left knee. Again, awareness. Where are these thoughts going? Where are they coming from? Where are they taking you? And as these awarenesses arise, we acknowledge through awareness can come change, making no judgment. And always coming back to the breath. If counting helps, breathe in 5, 4, 3, 2. Take the breath out for 5, 3, 2. And wherever you're at, you're keeping the breath flowing. Maybe our awareness is being drawn to a certain body part. We just see if we could find that deep inhale to breathe into that spot in the body, that new awareness that is arising. Acknowledge. Do we need a shift? Do we need to adjust? And breath is flowing. Maybe we take awareness to a noise that is happening. Can we find that noise? Can we recognize it? And then just come back to the breath. And as we start to make our way back to this space, back to our bodies, if we have our hands on our knees still, maybe we start to squeeze our knees. Head could bow down. And placing our hands together, prayer mudra. Placing our thumbs onto our chest, our head is still bowed. And just thank yourselves for taking time out of the day to move, to find stillness, to find these new awarenesses in ourselves and our bodies. And as we bow a little bit further, namaste.